Hey, folks. We're going to be looking at a TikTok quick. A little React video.
In the fall of 1964, a small college in Sarasota, Florida, opened its doors to its very first class of 100 students. It was named New College, and a big part of the school's mission was to be inclusive by adopting an open admissions program that wouldn't discriminate based on race, creed, national origin, or cultural status. It was a novelty in a state that was once part of the slave-owning Confederacy. Today, New College of Florida ranks number 3 in the Princeton Review of public colleges and universities that make an impact in the community. The school only has about 700 students, many of whom identify as non-heterosexual. In fact, that's one of the specifically inclusive things about the college. Students get to decide their gender identity without judgment.
That's cool.
In the state of Florida.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
You probably see where this is going.
Oh, that's not
New College
cool,
of Florida has become the new target of Governor Ron DeSantis in his culture war. He thinks that because the school is funded by state taxpayers, the school ought to have a conservative identity, a conservative Christian identity, which is not what it has had or has ever had. And to carry out this mission, Governor DeSantis has appointed 6 new members to the New College's Board of Trustees, including Christopher Rufo, a conservative activist who has led the battle against critical race theory in public schools across the U.S., and Matthew Spalding, the dean of Hillsdale College, a conservative Christian school that is serving as a model for DeSantis's plan to take over higher education in the state of Florida. These men, along with 4 others of DeSantis's picks, now make up the majority of the board of New College, and they are not wasting any time. This afternoon, they held their very first official meeting, but before it even started, the end game was clear.
The legislature has agreed to authorize immediately $15 million for New College for recruiting new faculty and for scholarships for students. And so you're going to have a situation where you're going to be able to go out, recruit people to come, say, hey, here's the mission, here's what we're looking to do. I mean, you have people asking, how do I apply?
That money, the $15 million the governor was talking about, that is to hire new faculty for New College. In that same event, Governor DeSantis announced new reforms for higher education in Florida, ones that will eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion and critical race theory, and make sure that, quote, core courses are rooted in Western tradition.
Ooh.
Sitting next to Governor DeSantis was Christopher Rufo, who just hours later carried out the governor's mandate by immediately calling for the abolition of the New College Office for Outreach and Inclusive Excellence.
Ooh.
Rufo claims that diversity divides people.
Naturally, this guy says that, doesn't he?
One of the items that I discussed today with Governor DeSantis and with legislators present is that diversity, equity, and inclusion, which sounds great, but in practice divides people and offers separate judgments on the basis of race and identity.
Listen to that response. Fuck that guy.
Actually.
Boom.
My opinion does matter, unfortunately, for you. Christopher Rufo is right. He is now part of a conservative majority taking over New College of Florida. And while there is resistance in the form of rallies and in protests, Rufo and his conservative cohort now have the power to make immediate change. And their first order of business today, hours ago, was to fire New College's president and replace her with former Florida Education Secretary Richard Corcoran, a DeSantis ally and an anti-CRT crusader. The takeover has begun. In the fall of 1964, a small college in Sarasota, Florida, opened its doors to its very first class of 100 students. It was named...
Fuck, dude. None of that's good. That's all bullshit. That's all dog shit. That's a dog shit thing to do. Completely fucking immoral. Why do people need to take spaces where other people can feel safe and make them unsafe? The fuck is that? So you're telling me Ron DeSantis, the guy who tricked a bunch of migrants and sent them to Martha's Vineyard, the guy that's mandating menstrual cycles for female athletes, is the guy who is further dehumanizing people? Yeah? It's his prerogative. Oh, what a shock! Dude is a piece of shit. No fucking wonder. Yeah, it makes me sad. It's a fucking sad thing to do. It's